Hello, hello. Surname of the Bard, you bastards. You said I was dead. You fucking Mormons. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Look, I have my seer stone, my Book of Mormon hat. The Bard is back. Oh, God. I can't take a month vacation. Hey, you get what you pay for. And I get nothing, so I take a month off. Well, I have some technical difficulties here. YouTube has gone to a new way of doing things, and I'm confused. So I'm back on my old video camera, and then I have to download this and then put it into YouTube. But whatever, the Bard ain't going to give up. Thank you. Those of you that were concerned that I was dead, I really appreciate that, because I don't have one member of my Mormon family. They cheered. They called that son of a bitch is gone. The Mormon church put out a bulletin, Bard dead. And I guess there's been a couple of asshole Mormons on my comments. I haven't read my comments. They're up in the thousands now. I can't get to all of them, so I don't. I appreciate you commenting, and you're certainly welcome to fight with each other. I don't care about that, but anyway, I just wanted you to know that I appreciate the support that I got when I was dead. And you Mormons, here it is. Bard don't die. The truth never dies. It's a cult. It's a cult. And it's laughable. It's a circus cult. Anyway, what have I been doing? You probably don't want to know part of many of the things I've been doing. I've been working, carrying piss and horse shit. I love that job, because it's just, how heavy can a shit be? You know, you give me a big box, I can't hold a big box. Give me a little shit, I just take it. Piss, a little piss. So anyway, I have to tell you a couple of things. One of them is, we go over to this Mexican restaurant, Mercy, and I love them over there. And they treat us like gold. We've been there for years. And they have this great big bowl of candy after you eat the Mexican food. You can get a mint. Well, I've been getting mints out of there for years. It's like 1,000 mints in this great big huge bowl. So the other day we went in there, and many times I look for things that are going to tell me, am I going to have a Bard day? So I took a mint out, and I'm walking out to my car. And you know the little twisties on the mint, you pull them and the mint twists and then it comes out and you can eat it. God damn, it had no twisties. I go, Jesus, oh, Jesus hates me. Jesus hates me. I go, he should, because I don't like him at all. So he gives me a candy with no twist on it. So I'm digging on it, hitting it on the car, trying to get my mint out. And I said to myself, you know, this is a sign from heaven. See, those are my old Mormon blood and brains working, that when things go right, Jesus help. When things go wrong, I've been bad. Well, I must have been bad because I had no twisties. So, you know, I don't jump into saying it's going to be a Bard day. I make it a Bard day. So, I was driving. I had to get some gas. So, I went into the gas station, and it's usually very, very crowded, but there was one spot open. And hey, Bard, they knew I was coming. So I took the open stall for the gas, and I jumped out quick, and I put my credit card in and punched my numbers in and everything, and it said, lift the pump, or lift the hose and pump. I said, okay. I looked down. There's no hose. The hose is gone. And I said, this is a Bard day. This now is a full-on Bard day. My credit card is accepted. And anyone could come in here and pump a diesel truck full of diesel, because the diesel's right there beside the gas. But there's no gas because there's no hose. So I'm saying, Jesus, take me, put me in outer darkness. It will be an improvement. So, Anyway, Mercy was with me, and she's learned to quit having me dance and yell and throw shit. So anyway, we got the card canceled, and off we drove. Now, I gotta tell you something. I hate old people. I hate old people. And there's a lot of self-hatred here. Anyway, I don't like to hear old people go, oh, my shoulder, oh, my knee, oh, God, I can't eat. Who gives a shit? That happens to everybody. That happens to everybody. Now, let me tell you, I went to the eye doctor because my left eye, I couldn't see. It was blurred. And he looks at it and says, your left eye is blurred. That'll be $120. I said, you son of a bitch, fix it. He said, well, I can't. I says, can you give me Felix the cat glasses? He goes, no. He says, what you need to do is go over to an eye specialist. I said, all right, I'll go to an eye specialist. So I go over to the eye specialist, and I'm sitting there in the chair, and he's looking at me and testing my eye, and he puts that big chart up. He says, can you read any of those letters? And I go, E. He said, any others? I go, no. He says, you have a blurred eye. God damn. Why do these doctors always tell me what I already know? He says, that'll be $700. So he said, we have a treatment for that blurred eye. And I said, all right, I'm willing to listen. He says, we're going to take a needle and stick it in your eyeball and shoot a special medicine in there. I said, well, life has been bad enough as an old man. My weenie's gone. And I hate to lose an eye. I've heard that a sharp stick in the eye is not good. And a needle may not be. So I didn't go back. And it got worse. Pretty soon I'm blind in the sun of a damn needle in the eye, needle in... So I put my garments back on. Wrapped them around my head because I didn't want to be injured. And I went back in and said, all right, give me the needle in the eye. So he did. Puts the needle in my eye. Now he said, Bard, that is a very expensive medication. It's $2,700. Your insurance is going to pick up some of it. But if we have to do it again, you're going to owe the whole $2,700. He said, Jesus, I'd rather have a weenie back and be blind. So anyway, he says, now, your vision will get better over the next 5 or 6 weeks. I want you to go and get laser. I said, what the hell is laser? He says, they're going to go in to the back of your eye. I said, with a needle? He goes, no, no, no. It's just with a bright light. I said, well, that's better than the needle. And they're going to shoot the little diabetic veins that are broken back there. And your eye will start to improve over time. So that the short term is the medication, the long term is the laser. And he says, then you have a little bit of a cataract on that eye, and we'll take that off. So I said, God. The only reason I want my eyes is I can't see porn. If I go blind, what am I going to do? Just touch the computer screen? It's not, hey, what's that? I gotta have eyes. And it's hard to drive without eyes. Blind people, they don't get very many licenses. So anyway, I had to renew my license, and I could see good enough. And they said, here's a license for 5 years, you see fine. I said, no I don't, but I'm not going to say that to you guys. So I got my license. So anyway, I got the sharp stick in the eye. So that's been going good. I got my breathing machine, I think CPAP, and man, I'll tell you folks, that works. I have never had this little computer that I wear. God damn, I'm like the bionic man. This is a Medtronic computer for diabetes. This is the most meticulous, durable, accurate machine I have ever seen in my life. My blood sugars hang right at about 120 to 130 all the time. All the time. And I've learned when I get stressful, I have to up it. So it has a button on here, a special button. It pumps 7 units into me in the daytime every hour. 7 units automatically. Then at nighttime I'm not eating, so it goes down to 4 units per hour. Well, it has an asshole button on it. So if you visit me and I pull this out and I say, excuse me, I have to hit the asshole button. What the asshole button does is it gives me a chance to say, well, in the next 5 hours, I'm going to be visiting my ex-wife. It says, okay, so I put in 5 hours. And then it says, well, how much more than 7 do you want? 110%, 20%? I go, 160%. And it holds my blood pressure, or holds my sugar right down. Fabulous, fabulous device. Now, I got my little CPAP machine there. Let me tell you something. You know, if you're older, even if you're not old, some of this shit is interesting because I don't have a dad. My dad was a child molester. I don't know where the hell he is in heaven. I'm afraid to go to outer darkness because I'll probably see him there. But anyway, I got the CPAP machine. It's almost silent. It's almost silent, and it runs at night. And I put the mask on. Mercy loves that because I can't talk. The Bard always talks, but with the mask on, I can't say shit. I go, I can't hear you, honey. Out the door she goes. Anyway, before the CPAP machine, my sleep test said that I had apnea 90 times a minute. 90 times a minute. It says, you're never sleeping. You haven't slept for years and years. And I said, well, I go up to the bathroom 4 or 5 times a night too. And they said, that's because your body thinks it's morning. The apnea wakes you up, the body thinks it's morning, and off you have to go to the bathroom. I said, I didn't know that. I said, does this machine stop the peeing? And they go, yeah. You're shitting me. I said, no. Let me tell you, folks, it has. I put that machine on at 9 and 10 o'clock at night. I'm laying there, just watching porn, you know, just trying to get settled in for the night. Anyway, it starts to breathe for me, and it's friendly. It learns if I'm upset. It learns if I've been running up the staircase. It adjusts to my breathing. Well, over the night, as I calm down, the machine slows my breathing. And I put it on at 10 o'clock at night. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it feels like I just went to bed. 9, 8 hours every night. Never get up, never go to the bathroom. That is a good machine. That is a wonderful machine. Now, it's hard to get dates. When I wear that over to Target or Kmart, you know, the girls will look at me, but I stick the hose down in my pants, so there's something going on there. What's going on? Anyway, the CPAP machine has saved my life. So my ex-wives and my asshole children, which I've disowned, don't ever come to my door. You Mormon children, you come and knock on that door, I'll throw you down the fucking staircase. I don't want to see one of those kids for the rest of my life. Love your garments. Pray to Joseph Smith. Get yourself a good cedar rock and a good top hat. They go together. That's how you start a religion, you stupid assholes. Most of my kids are college educated, and they're, you know, anyway. So, to my ex-wives, I'm healthy as a dog. Man, I'm a flying. I drive, I jump up 3 staircases here. Those of you that thought I was dead, you were just hoping. And I had some friends. I think Anna, one of my Mormon friends called me and he says, are you dead? And I said, does it sound like it? He said, no. But people, there's a guy, he said, now I'm just repeating, I haven't seen it. He says, there's a guy that calls himself Nephi. And he says, you're dead and you're in outer darkness. I said, well, like most Mormon things, it's just not true. And then the guy that's got a barricade up there in Oregon, I think it is, that's blocking the government. His name is Lehi, and he says the Lord sent him up there. Every misfit, every mental patient, every retarded person is in the Mormon church. Now, I'm going to give you something that I've been thinking about, and now I'm going to turn serious right. Anyway, I have been wondering, I take a look at a guy like Mitt Romney, and I take a look at a beautiful little girl like Marie Osmond. She hasn't called me. I've saved a spot here on my automatic bed. It'll go up and down. She can ride my bed anytime, and I'll push the button. Right. Anyway, I've been wondering, when you get popular, rich, handsome people, how the hell can they be Mormons? That has plagued me for a long, long time. Now, you guys, you got to sneak up on a glass of water to get a drink. I can understand why you're a Mormon, because they promise you to be a god, and there's 700-pound gods up there, so you're okay. There's also gods that have an IQ of 52, so you join with the Mormons, and they call you president, first counselor, they call you all these fancy cult names, and it makes you feel important, and you know damn well you're a loser, but you feel like, yeah, I'm wearing holy garments, and I know, health in the navel, marrow in the bone, strength in the loins and in the sinews, power in the priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. And I've just been anointed downstairs to be a king and a priest under the Most High God. Man, no education and being stupid and fat and ugly. This is the place for me. Now, how do the good-looking, rich, and handsome, beautiful people join the Mormon Church? Here it is. My 6 angels, the naked ones, the little girls, they're over 18. They're not little, but they're little. They came to me and said, Bard, you've been worried about this for all these years. We're going to tell you the truth of how those people joined the Mormon Church. Here it is. Now, I'm using a little of my education now, which I don't do often, but I do know I have degrees in child development and sociology and teaching human services, psychology, so I have a little bit of knowledge of development of human beings. Here's how the beautiful and the rich and the great people become Mormons. When you and I were growing up, you know damn well that every child is self-conscious. Someone says our ears are too big, or our nose is too big, or you're in the locker room and they go, that's the littlest weenie I've ever seen. Now, let me tell you a secret. When I was in, this is not a weenie story, okay? When I was in grade school, someone said to me, you have really skinny arms. I didn't think I had skinny arms, but if someone said I had them, I had them. I wore long sleeve only shirts until I graduated from high school. That stuck with me. That stuck with me, and I didn't want anyone seeing my skinny arms. Well, my arms weren't any more skinny than anyone else's, but in my mind, I was skinny-armed Bard. Now, a lot of you females, and even males, we get hammered by society. Some of us overcome it. Girls that believe that they're too fat and they're skinny, like Karen Carpenter. She was a cutie, and she starved to death because she, in her mind, saw herself fat. We didn't. Mama Cass saw herself fat and jammed a ham and cheese sandwich in her mouth and choked to death. I don't know what that has to do with anything. The point that I'm making is there's holes in our development. There's holes in our self-esteem. And they can't be filled unless we consciously know what those holes are and then consciously start to fill them. So I consciously started looking at my arms and going, hey, they're regular arms. And I started wearing, and I am today 70 years old here, and I'm wearing short sleeve shirts. I overcame that. Now, what if a child, and I mean a baby, 2 years old, 5, 8, 7, 9, 10. What if a child is teased by his brothers and sisters, or his parents, or children at school, or in the community, and it develops holes in the self-esteem, holes in their ego, holes in their development? Those carry into adulthood. I'm telling you, as a sociologist and as a professional person, all the counseling I've done over a lifetime, there are holes in people. Now, here's how the rich and the famous and the beautiful join the church. They have holes. You and I can't see the holes. They're in their mind. They're in their development. And so, my dad, here's an example. My dad, no one would listen to him. He was the most disingenuous asshole in the world. He was called to be Sunday school superintendent. Now, I didn't know this until I figured this theory out. He would get up in front of the congregation. Now, he hadn't had an audience more than one in his lifetime. And when you stand up at a podium in a Mormon church, you're talking to 200 or 300 people. He was filling that hole. And he would go, "Good morning, brothers and sisters. It's a beautiful day outside. I know the Lord Jesus Christ has blessed us with the sunshine and the flowers," and my God, he'd go on, and everyone would be looking at each other. He was trying to fill that hole of being a nobody. Being a nobody. That's what Mitt Romney, Marie Osmond, and the rest of these people that you and I look at and go, God, if they're Mormons, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the church is true. The church is not true. It's drawing holy people. People who are psychologically damaged. And they can be rich, they can be ugly, they can be fat, they can be black, they can be white, they can be single, married. It doesn't matter, because you and I cannot see the holes. And you and I have holes in us. One of the holes I told you was my arms. And I fixed that hole. Now, you know, I go to the pool and I'm fat as a whale, and I just put my bathing suit on. It's a Speedo. And jump in the water, and they have to fill the pool again. But anyway, I'm not embarrassed anymore. I am who I am. And I have filled those developmental holes that were in me. Now, maybe there's more. I don't know. Why do I get on this and go, you know, to 1.5 million people looking at me? Am I a nobody that I have to feed this ego? Maybe. I don't know. But you know now, and I know, the reason people join the Mormon church is they're losers inside. The developmental holes have them believe, and they're like anorexic. When they see themselves, they don't see the young, the beautiful, the rich. They see the kid with skinny arms, or the girl with big hips or fat legs, or the person who has no education. And when you put a person up, like my father, who was an idiot, in front of 200 or 300 people, he doesn't have a thing to say. He doesn't have a thing to say. But he's trying to fill and think that he's popular, and think that he's giving information about the weather, he wasn't a weatherman, that the congregation wanted to hear. Well, have you ever had a high priest come to your ward and speak? Let me tell you, a high priest has nothing to say. It never has, never will. And they're the most boring talks in the world. But there's an audience of 200 or 300, and he gets to stand in front of that audience, and he gets to feel that he is important. Cults will call you Mr. Like Mr. Ed. I mean, he was a horse, but he was Mr. Ed. They'll call you superintendent, first counselor, second counselor. God damn, I went to school for 8 years or more to be a counselor. A truck driver comes in and he's the first counselor. How's that happen? But anyway, and now he's hearing all about the little girls masturbating and the boys, and he's doing temple interviews and whatever. Now he's a bishop. So anyway, what I'm saying to you is these people, when you say they're superintendents, presidents, first counselor, second counselor, when they're a mission president, or they are the bishop, or the state president, or a 70, or an apostle of the Lord Jesus Christ. Good Lord, does that make a man kind of puff up like a Hinckley? Like a Hinckley handkerchief? Every time I look at a football game and they're waving the white hankies, I think of Hinckley and the Hosanna shout. It's on my videos here somewhere. Look it up on Google. Anyway, if you're a loser, there's going to be many things in the Mormon church that will fill those holes. It's not true. You're not a supervisor. It's not true. You don't have an education, but you think you do. And as long as you're in that cult, you will continue to think, this cult's for me, because they know when I get up to bear my testimony, the audience laughs. I'm a comedian. I have jokes. Or I have revelation. They know that I'm a spiritual person. So I'm giving to you something I find very valuable for me. I've never been able to figure out how the supposed good people join the Mormon Church. Now I know. Inside, there's developmental holes that a cult will fill. You have no friendship, you move into a Mormon ward, you got 200 friends. You can't handle yourself at a party, you stand on the side, you can't dance, bam! You go into a banquet or you go into a ward dinner. You got friends, you're sitting at all the table, you're popular, you're eating, and you're sophisticated. You're sophisticated. It looks to me like little children eating in the cafeteria. They got nothing to say. I've been over to the senior center a couple times. Those old people, they don't have a damn thing to say except about religion. And I tell people now, if I'm sitting in a restaurant or close, I will say to them, excuse me, this is a public place. I don't belong to your cult, and I prefer that you not do cult talk here. Please, talk about something else. They can't. The cult talk has filled the holes. It has filled the holes in them, and it is part of them. That's why you can't leave the Mormon Church. Part of your development is the Mormon Church is inside of you, filling holes up, making you think you're successful. You're carrying a briefcase, you're wearing glasses, 200 people are looking at you. You go to a state conference and the lights come on and big audience out there and everyone thinks you're spiritual. That cult is filling developmental holes in human beings. If you don't have developmental holes, you're never going to join the Mormon Church. That's why I never could figure out. We had a kid and his mother that used to come to the Ojai ward. Nice people, had money, and sophisticated. And they came to the ward, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months, and they left. They wouldn't join. They had no holes. There wasn't anything in the cult that they wanted. So, if you're really into Pinewood Derby, if you're really into saluting the flag, if you're really into badges in scouts, you're probably really into sneaking into tents and masturbating the boys. But anyway, if you have holes in your personality, you can fill them. Service holes especially, that you don't know how to help other people. You don't know how to follow through. Well, the Mormon Church will give you assignments. You have this assignment to mow the lawn, you have this, you have that, and now you're a spiritual human because you've cut the lawn for Jesus Christ. Now let me tell you something. I've never seen Jesus on a lawnmower. They say it's his building. I've never seen him clean it. I've never seen Jesus clean the toilet seats. That's what the Mormons do. And the authorities will say, you're doing this for Jesus. The authorities aren't cleaning the toilets. And it's the same way with the authorities up in Salt Lake. They're making six-figure incomes, laughing themselves all the way to the bank, stealing pesos, stealing dollars, euros, and they're telling you, they need that money because of their temples, which baptize dead people. Now, really, think about it. How many churches baptize dead people? Well, at least, it gives you something to do if you're old. So if you're bored, you're old, you have no place to go, you have no life, you're basically a failure in life, they'll call you on a senior mission. Now you're important. You're over the young people on the mission. So anyway, take it as you may. The Bard is not dead. The Bard is far from dead. My eye is pretty good. I can see the clock now. And, I never wanted to see anything in the Mormon Church because I knew it was all blurred while I was in the Mormon Church. It's a cult. And I am so happy to be out. Now let me tell you something. The Mormons that say I'm kicking against the pricks. The pricks are in Salt Lake. There's 15 of them. Yeah, and I am kicking against them. The Mormons are lying to you. I'm not dead. And I'm not going to outer darkness. And I have 3 brand new cars. I'm doing well financially. I have my bed that goes up and down, up and down. My beautiful daughter Abigail, what a girl. She has turned out, my little lesbian daughter, she has turned out to be one of the finest human beings I've ever met. She works 45, 50 hours a week and goes to school full time. And my little Allison, oh my gosh, she's as popular. And the boys, one of the boys asked her, she's in 7th grade, and she came home and said, "Dad, this boy wants to be alone with me." I said, "Honey, why do you think he wants to be alone with you?" She says, "I don't know." I said, "Do you think it has anything to do with your vagina?" "I didn't think so." I said, "It does, honey." Boys are boys. She says, "Well, I'm not going to be alone with him." I said, "That's good, that's good." And she's working, and both my girls are working. Ty is starting to make some money painting. I'm going to put up a video of him and his artwork. A lot of people have called, and I have to be a little bit helping and selective for him. He's made a beautiful oil paint of me and Mercy, and I'll show that to you. So he's charging, for charcoal, he's charging $150 a person, and for a full portrait, 2 people or even a family, if you've got a nice picture that he can copy, he's charging right at $500 for a portrait. It takes him a month to do it. But anyway, they're doing good. Grandma's making money, he's making money. So the Mormons always say, well, if you're making money and you're doing good financially, you know, you must be spiritual. Here's the board. Setting the world on fire. I got a 40-inch TV right there. I've got a 36, right? I've got a 22 right here. And I've got another 22 right here. I have cameras. I have a studio. I have a beautiful place to live. I don't have any friends because I don't want any friends. Friends are losers. They're just going to take things away from me. Now, why are Mormons so susceptible to pyramid and scam programs? Here it is. I always wondered this. Why do all the pyramid programs, and I can't think of the other word, you know what it is, multi-level, because they don't make enough money. They don't have an education. And if you've gone to one of these multi-level meetings where they show boats and yachts and castles and things that the head guy bought by being multimedia, they get you, the Relief Society president, to go in and sell 20 of your girlfriends, and you think you're going to make that kind of money, and before you know it, the scam collapses and the Mormons lose their money. They're very, very susceptible to multi-level soaps and beauty products and whatever. Most of the rest of us look at it and go, you know what? You can't continually build on the lower level people. You will run out of lower level people. And then what do you do for money? But the Mormons, they go, well, I'll be rich by then. It doesn't matter. So that's why people join the Mormon church. Holes in their development, and that's why they fall for multi-level, because now they're going to be famous, now they're going to be rich, now they can live anywhere, and they can prove to the world they don't have skinny arms. So, I was a little bit long today, but I just wanted to let you know I'm alive and well. And I got my camera set up now, so I'll be doing a few more videos. And my ex-wives can screw themselves. Because they're never going to get a screw as good as they got when they were married to me. Anyway, if any of you are interested in Ty doing a portrait or Ty doing a charcoal, I don't know how to let me know, because I'm not going to give you my name, my address. Few have my phone number, and I don't look at my videos, so I'll figure out a way. But I'll show you his work, and I think some of you will be interested, and he'll do it, and then you pay him half up front, half when it's done, and it comes with 100% money back guarantee. If you return his artwork, he puts it in his gallery. He owns it. You don't. If you pay for it full, now you own it. You do whatever you want with it. But we have a beautiful portrait of Mercy and me, and he's a fabulous, fabulous artist. So anyway, I hope you have health in the navel, marrow in the bones, strength in the loins and sinews, power and priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. That's the name of the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood, the patriarchal grip, or sure sign of the nail, and Pele Ale are the old words for, "O God, hear the words of my mouth," which is the true order of prayer. Joseph Smith talked to a rock. This rock talks to me all the time and told me I need to get back on and keep people warned that if you hook up with the Mormon church, you're a loser. You're just trying to fill empty holes. I don't feel like I have empty holes anymore, and I can be on my own. Jesus wants me for a sunbeam, I don't care. Jesus doesn't want me, I don't care. If I die and I poof away, I don't care. I'm confident of who I am, what I am. I don't know where I'm going to go when I die, and frankly, I don't give a rat's ass. And the Mormons hope that I die and they stick me with fire and pitchforks. What kind of a Christ-like attitude is that? I don't know. But anyway, I have to get up and turn my camera off. I'll show you I can get up these days. This bard's gone.